You remember what it felt like to have energy, real energy, where you could go hard all day, take care of business at night, and wake up ready to do it again. That wasn't some distant memory from your 20s. For a lot of us, that was still happening in our 40s, and then something changed. You got slower, heavier, harder to motivate. You're getting less done and sleeping worse, and you just assumed that's what getting older feels like. It isn't. What it actually feels like is low testosterone, and most men over 50 have no idea it's happening to them. Our generation was taught to just push through it. Tired, work harder, not motivated, man up. We weren't exactly raised in an environment where guys talked about their hormone levels. But here's the thing. Testosterone isn't just about the gym or the bedroom. It drives your energy, your focus, your mood, your ability to build muscle and burn fat. When it drops, everything drops with it. And it drops whether you acknowledge it or not. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 signs that your testosterone is actually crashing. Not the obvious ones you've already heard, but the ones most men dismiss as just stress or bad sleep or getting older. And after each sign, I'm giving you a specific, actionable fix you can start today. No prescriptions, no supplements I'm being paid to push. Just the stuff that actually works for men over 50. Sign number 1. You're tired, no matter how much you sleep. And I don't mean you stayed up too late watching the game. I mean the kind of tired where you wake up after 8 hours and you're already done. Where by 2 in the afternoon, you're running on fumes. Where motivation feels like a thing other people have. That's not your schedule. That's your testosterone. Low T tanks your energy at the cellular level, literally affecting how your mitochondria produce ATP, which is the fuel your body runs on. When that system is compromised, no amount of sleep catches you up. The fix here is almost offensively simple. Get outside within 30 minutes of waking up. 10 minutes of direct morning sunlight resets your circadian rhythm, which directly affects testosterone production. Combine that with 5 to 10 minutes of movement, even just a brisk walk, and you're triggering the hormonal cascade that tells your body it's time to be awake and functional. Do this for 2 weeks straight and track your afternoon energy. Most men notice a meaningful shift. Sign number 2, your waistline is expanding and you haven't changed a thing. You're eating the same, maybe even a little better than you used to, and the belly keeps growing. Here's why. Fat tissue, especially visceral fat, the stuff that sits around your organs, contains an enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen. So the more belly fat you accumulate, the more testosterone gets converted. The lower your T drops, and the more belly fat you gain. It's a cycle that feeds itself. Most men are stuck in it and have no idea what's driving it. 2 things break this cycle better than anything else: resistance training and sleep quality. Compound movements, squats, deadlifts, presses are the most powerful natural testosterone stimulants that exist. And sleep is when your body produces roughly 70% of its daily testosterone. Before 11 p.m. to bed, dark room, no screens for 30 minutes before sleep. I know that's not what we grew up doing. We were raised on late-night TV and Letterman. But your body doesn't care about your nostalgia. It cares about REM cycles. Sign number 3, your mood is all over the place and your patience has basically disappeared. You're snapping at people you like. Small things that used to roll off your back now stick. You feel vaguely irritated most of the time without a clear reason. And here's the part most men never hear. This is not a personality flaw. It is a hormonal symptom. Testosterone plays a direct role in mood regulation, impulse control, and emotional resilience. When it drops, your nervous system has less buffer against stress. Things feel bigger because your brain is running on less chemical support than it used to have. The fix starts with understanding that cortisol, the stress hormone, and testosterone are in a seesaw relationship. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. So before you can raise your T, you have to stop burying it under chronic stress. That means identifying your top 2 or 3 chronic stressors and actually doing something about them. Not meditating around them, not white-knuckling through them, addressing them. That might mean a difficult conversation, a schedule change, cutting something out. The men who improve their testosterone fastest are almost always the ones who deal with the stress load first. Sign number 4, you're training but getting nowhere. You go to the gym, you put in the work, and the results that used to come, the strength gains, the muscle, the way you felt after a solid session, aren't there anymore. You're not recovering the way you used to, and the motivation to even go is getting harder to find every week. Testosterone is the primary driver of muscle protein synthesis. When it's low, your body is literally less capable of rebuilding muscle after training. You can work just as hard and get a fraction of the return. That's not a willpower problem. That is a hormonal problem. The fix is counterintuitive. Less volume, more intensity, more recovery. 3 to 4 days of resistance training with compound movements is more effective for testosterone production than 6 days of grinding it out. After your workout, your testosterone spikes. But if you're overtraining and under-recovering, you drive cortisol up and T right back down. The window between a productive training stimulus and an overtraining stress response gets narrower after 50. Respect that window. This isn't about going easy, it's about going smart. Quick pause before the 5th sign, and honestly, it might be the most important one. If what we've been talking about resonates, the fatigue, the mood, the stalled workouts, I put together a free 7-day energy jumpstart guide built specifically for men over 50. 7 days, 20 minutes a day, no gym required. It's designed to start addressing the exact cycle we're talking about right now. Link is in the description. Grab it free and let's keep going. Sign number 5, and this is the one most men won't say out loud. Your drive is gone. Not just in the gym, not just in the bedroom, everywhere. You used to want things. You had goals you were chasing, projects you were fired up about, a competitive edge that made you feel like yourself. And now it feels like someone turned the dial down. You do what needs to be done, but the fire isn't there the way it used to be. Testosterone is not just a physical hormone. It is the hormone of drive, ambition, risk tolerance, and forward momentum. When it drops significantly, men stop feeling like themselves. They just don't always know why. We grew up listening to Rage Against the Machine on the way to work. If you've switched to whatever they play in dentist offices and you're fine with it, that's a data point. This fix is about your daily environment. Testosterone responds to challenge and competition. It drops in environments of chronic low-grade helplessness and routine. That means you need to build challenge back into your life deliberately. Set a physical goal you have to work for. Learn something hard. Put yourself in situations where you can win and where you might fail. Even small competitive stakes, a fitness goal, a skill, a project, trigger a measurable hormonal response. Your body was built to be tested. When it stops getting tested, it starts standing down. Before we wrap up, here are 3 of the fastest natural testosterone levers men over 50 almost always underestimate. First, zinc. Zinc deficiency is extremely common in men over 50, and it directly impairs testosterone production. You don't need a supplement stack. You need oysters, red meat, pumpkin seeds. If you're not getting enough through food, a basic zinc supplement is one of the most well-researched natural T-support options available. Not exotic, not expensive, overlooked. Second, dead hangs. Decompressing your spine with dead hangs reduces the chronic tension in your thoracic region that constricts blood flow and nerve signaling through the endocrine system. It's not magic, but men who hang consistently report better morning energy and better hormonal recovery from training. 30 seconds, a few times a day. The bar is already there. Third, cold water exposure. The last 60 to 90 seconds of your shower, cold. Not an ice bath, not a ritual, not a 2-hour YouTube commitment. Cold water finish. It triggers a norepinephrine spike, improves circulation, and has measurable effects on testosterone and cortisol balance. I know, it's the thing you've been avoiding. Our generation did not grow up voluntarily jumping into cold water, but the men who stick with it for 30 days consistently report feeling more like themselves. That's worth 90 seconds. We survived New Coke. We can handle a cold shower. Here's what you can realistically expect if you start applying even 3 or 4 of these fixes consistently. In the first week, your sleep quality will probably improve. In week 2, you'll likely notice your afternoon energy holds longer than it has been. By the end of the first month, if you're training right and sleeping right and managing your stress load, you will feel a measurable shift. Not a miracle, not 25 again, but like the version of yourself you recognize, the one with something in the tank. The one who shows up ready instead of just showing up. That guy is still there. He just needs the right conditions to come back out. We were the generation that did things our own way. We didn't follow the manual. We figured it out. This is no different. You now know what the 5 signs look like. You know what drives them, and you know what to do about it. If you want a structured starting point, a 7-day plan built specifically for men over 50 that begins addressing your energy, your hormonal environment, and your movement all at once, grab the free Energy Jumpstart guide in the description. No gym, 20 minutes a day, and it works. Hit subscribe if you want more of this. Every week I'm putting out content built specifically for our generation, the generation that refuses to decline. Next week, we're getting into the #1 reason men over 50 feel exhausted all the time. And it's not testosterone, it's not sleep, and it's almost certainly not what you think. You were built differently. Train that way.